Welcome to the revolution. We're going to do something fun and exciting today. Something we haven't done before. We're going to spill the TYT. We're going to ask some fun personal questions, sneak in a couple of political ones to 3 candidates. They're all Rebellion PAC candidates, which means they're all corporate PAC free. They're Israel free. And they are populist left. So joining me to do that is our political community director and someone also helping to run Rebellion PAC, Kara Eastman. And Kara and I are going to talk to 3 candidates. Saikat Chakrabarti from California 11. He already knocked out Nancy Pelosi in that race, not a big deal. Bryce from Wisconsin 1 and Richard Ojeda from North Carolina 9. So let's meet our contestants. Well, it's not a contest, but still, all right. Well, it is a contest in that you guys are running for office. So good to see you all.
Airborne.
Good to see you as well.
Good to see you, Cenk.
All right. I love it. If you guys didn't catch it, Richard said airborne. I love that. He is a veteran. All right, well, we're gonna find out more about them through this process. Kara, why don't you get us started?
All right, so we've got some questions for each of you, and we'll start with Randy. If you had to pick one meal to eat every day for the rest of your life, what would it be?
There's this chicken curry at a Pakistani shop that's not too far. It's like in downtown Racine. That's pretty close by. Just nice and spicy. And the man that makes it, that owns a restaurant, he had some issues with people, racism, because he was Pakistani. So we started, increasing his business, going out of our way to go there. And if I hadn't done that, I never would have found that chicken curry dish.
All right, look at that. Being a good guy pays off. Okay.
It did.
Right, how about Saikat? Same question.
Oof, it is a tough one. I live in San Francisco. We got a lot of good food here, but there's a spot down the street called Be It Rima. It's actually a Palestinian-owned place. I go there for lunch probably 2 or 3 times a week, and they have a chicken dish. It's called chicken murakash. I want to say it's like supposedly it's like the national dish in Palestine, but it is delicious. And the guy who runs the place is a guy named Samir. I think he got all the recipes from his mom, and it used to be a burger place that his dad ran, and his dad would never cook the Arab food or the Palestinian food because he thought there'd be no market for it. But after they switched over to a Palestinian restaurant, it's blown up. It's like amazing over there. So I love the place.
I wouldn't say blown up, but I hear you.
I know. I was saying that. Shit, slipped out.
We can joke. It's all among friends. And I like how the first 2 were like a Pakistani and Palestinian. All right, Ojeda, what are you picking for your food?
Whatever my wife cooks today. That's how we roll. But I will tell you, my wife absolutely, when she makes steak, I love it. I think it's the best. She puts mushrooms and stuff on it, and it tastes phenomenal. So I'm going to go ahead and give my wife the shout out on that one.
No, that's a smart man right there. All right, I'm going to ask my favorite question now, and I'll start with Saikat on this one and go the other way. So Saikat, sport that you played in high school, or band, or any extracurricular activity?
I played basketball. I wasn't good at it, but I didn't play part of the school. But I played basketball all the time. I unfortunately went to a high school that was really good at basketball, and they won state my senior year. So the extracurricular I did, because I was a freaking nerd, I did math competitions. I did programming contests and math contests in high school. That's actually what I was good at.
No, of course you did. Okay, Ojeda, how about you?
Okay, so I used to get into a lot of trouble because I used to fist fight all the time. And then one day, this guy walked out there because I was getting ready to get into a fist fight in middle school. And he says, if you want to act tough, why don't you come wrestle? And I went ahead and called his bluff, and I went and I had an absolute great time. It was like, this is like legalized fighting where you can, don't get in trouble. But I loved it. I ended up wrestling for 5 years. I actually wrestled a year in Germany. I think it's a great sport. I think it teaches you a lot about, there's all kinds of sports where you can blame somebody because they didn't throw a ball or catch a ball. But when it comes to things like wrestling and boxing, if you don't win, then you gotta train harder and try to win the next time.
Yeah, so it's funny because Saikat and I started Just Democrats together, but I'm probably most similar to Richard. I also wrestled. I also got into a lot of fights. And I remember thinking when I started playing football and I was middle linebacker, I was like, so this is legal. This is okay. I could just take this guy's head off and people are gonna applaud that. Okay, this is my kind of sport. All right, how about you, Randy?
I played baseball, basketball, football. I was on the chess club. I was in the band and orchestra and jazz ensemble. We had probably one of the best jazz ensembles in the state in 1983. And there was one time I even was playing football, and at halftime I ran up and sat with the band and played my trombone. So I was like, I got into a lot of stuff with it.
That's amazing. Okay, so Randy is a combination of Richard and Saikat, which, by the way, again, I'm right there with you. I went to constitutional competitions in high school and Model Congress and Model UN, but also played football and wrestled. So, you know what that is? America.
Yeah.
All right, Kara, back to you.
All right. This is a pretty hard-hitting question. Actually, Cenk, we're gonna start with you. What's your morning routine?
Oh boy, I didn't know I was gonna get thrown in here. Okay, my morning routine is get up, work. Okay, but first, no, seriously. First, I gotta take my daughter to school or to the bus stop, then my son, and then make myself a pot of coffee, get in and start tweeting. Got to read for the show, got to answer emails for business. So a lot to do.
All right, Richard, what's your morning routine?
So I do a show every night called Ojeda Live. So what happens when I first wake up, I look on my phone to see what Donald Trump has done for the day. And then I come down to my office and then I basically just start writing things down about what I want to discuss when I go live later on in the day. So that's pretty much, unless I have now, campaign events and things like that. But for the most part, when I have the time, this is what I do. I just immediately jump on my phone and then come down to my computer and start reading articles and researching.
All right. Randy, what about you?
Well, I open my eyes, and as soon as my dog notices that I open my eyes, she jumps up on top of me and starts licking me. So that tells me I have to get up, feed her, and I usually have some tea and a bagel before going out about doing whatever I'm going to do, whether it's a campaign event or something going on.
All right.
All right.
So, yep. Sorry.
Oh no, we got to find out Saikat's morning.
Yeah. It's a little similar to yours, Cenk, but except the mental health. I'm worried about Cenk and Richard's mental health here. You just start off with Twitter and Trump quotes, but I wake up. I try to make breakfast. Try to have breakfast with my daughter if I don't have an early campaign thing, and have coffee. And if I don't have anything like right at the morning, I'll try to drop my daughter off at school. I bike her down school. It's one of my favorite parts of the day.
Yeah, God, when I used to take my daughter to preschool and we hold hands and walk the whole way, doesn't get any better than that. All right, this was a quick and easy one. Randy already answered it, but I'll start with Randy just in case he's got more. Do you have pets, and what kind of pets?
I have a black, she's a plot hound, and from the South. She's a rescue pup, and that's the only one. Her name's Rosie the Riveter, and let's see, she just turned 3.
Okay, that's perfect because Randy's also known as IronStache. He's an iron worker. So Rosie the Riveter. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that, right? And Randy, is there anything you haven't rescued yet? Oh, right, Wisconsin won, but that's going to happen soon.
Right.
All right. How about you, Richard?
So I had an English bulldog by the name of Bud Charles II for 16 years, and I'm going to be honest with you. When we lost him, it broke us. I mean, my wife was the most amazing when it come to that dog. We have 2 cats now, but we kind of we feel like we can't get another dog because we feel like it's like cheating on Buddy. I mean, this was the best dog. An English bulldog has a life expectancy of 8 years. And the veterinarian told us that we had a perfect specimen of a bulldog. He had no eye issues, no tail issues, and lived to be 16. And it was really, really hard to say goodbye.
All right, shortcut.
Don't want to kill the mood. Sorry.
It's okay. It's a real answer.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. We do not have a pet. My 6-year-old kid is on the beat trying to get us a dog, but I'm like, oof, this is enough that my wife's doing right now with me running for Congress. So I don't know if we can get a dog right in this moment.
Yeah. So Cara, we had a guest appearance by one of your pets. Who was that?
That was Sammy, and the other one is Zoe. They're brother and sister. They're bonded, and every time I'm on a Zoom, they decide they need to show their faces on a Zoom. So they are very well trained.
Yeah. I hog it up the camera. I don't know anybody like that. All right, Cara, you're up.
So a couple of things. One, for people in the audience, if you want to ask a question, go into the members chat on tyt.com, and I'll try to field some of those for you. Also, I just want to go back to the morning routine question. So I don't like to generalize too much, but I think this is a clear way that we can tell men and women apart in some ways in American society. When I wake up, I wash my face, I scrape my tongue, I brush my teeth, I have my cocktail of psyllium, Shashandra, NMN, collagen, creatine, apple cider vinegar, olive oil, then I have tea, then I have yogurt and fruit or some sort of whole grain granola. Then I stretch, I work out, I come back, I shower, I do all of my skincare, and right before all of that, I check my emails and my texts to make sure that everything at TYT is all good and Cenk doesn't need anything.
Wow, you do like more healthy stuff in the first hour of your day than I do all year.
I won't say, I just realized all of us forgot to say we brush our teeth. I'm hoping I'm not the only one that has that in common with Cara's morning routine.
No, we're populist. We don't brush our teeth.
Brushing's for the weak.
All right, Cara, what's the next question?
Let's see, let's start. Saikat, what are you superstitious about?
Oof, I don't have that many superstitions, but I guess if I don't know if this counts as a superstition, but I still do care about random predictions my parents will make. Like if my mom or my dad's like, oh yeah, this thing for no reason at all is a bad idea. That affects me. I'm like, oh man, even if everything's going well, I'm like, maybe it's a bad idea, right?
Yeah, as an immigrant, I know about parents' friends influencing things. So
yeah, it could be completely illogical. So I consider that a superstition, kind of.
Yeah, my mom hasn't given me a compliment yet because of the evil eye, but I'm working on it. Okay, all right, Randy, how about you?
I'm really not superstitious at all. I can't think of, nothing comes to mind. I mean, it's not like I don't believe in ghosts, or I believe in karma. You do good things and good things happen to you. It's basically how I operate.
All right. Richard?
Well, honestly, I really don't. I don't have any superstitions. I don't follow anything like that. So, I just take the day as it comes.
Wow. Okay, since we went over there, then I'm forced to ask Cara, do you have any?
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit superstitious about, no, I'm not superstitious about anything.
Interesting.
I really wanted to, but I just don't.
I used to be a bit of a numerologist. I'd look for my favorite number, then it was gonna be a good day. If I saw it on a license plate or something.
Now, believe it or not, now I have to say that there is a special number that whenever I see it, I automatically salute it and I say, all the way, Sean. Sean was my mentor when I was a young soldier, when I was enlisted. He's the one that made the phone call that actually got my orders changed from Fort Hood, Texas to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, because I always wanted to be a paratrooper. And unfortunately, I lost him in a helicopter crash. We both went to Fort Bragg together. We went to airborne school together, went through sapper school together. And then he's the reason why I ended up getting out of the Army and becoming an officer. He's the one that convinced me to take that scholarship that that my company commander put in my name, and I had no idea about it. But I left, and unfortunately, there was a event, and he was killed in a helicopter crash. So every time I see the number 814, I always salute it and say, all the way, Sean.
You know what? Now you put it in my head. Now when I see 814, I'm gonna think of Sean.
I hope you do. Let me tell you something. He was a special person. There's very few people. I spent 24 years in the military, and I would say that he is one of a kind. He was by far the best non-commissioned officer, and everybody who knew him knew that that's how he was. We used to say he carried a number two. He had a FM manual for a number 2 pencil. He could answer any question. He was really that good.
All right, now we did a little bit of a bridge towards some tiny bit of political questions. And by the way, Cara, thank you for pointing out. Yeah, if you're watching, you could write in. We love that from our members on TYT.com, or if you're just watching on YouTube. And watch live. Every day the Young Turks is 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and then 8 p.m. we're doing interesting things like this revolution, where we're trying to create a bipartisan populist revolution to get our government back. So we'd love your participation in it. Okay, so I'll start with Randy on this one. Who's the first person you called when you decided to run for office this time?
This time, I called Bill Hires.
Interesting. And who's that?
Senior advisor for me. He did the video, our first video that went viral, and he also arranged. He produced this opening video for this campaign. He pretty much he put the team together for me.
All right, that makes sense. And if you haven't seen it, the original IronStache video from last time Randy ran, and he ran against Paul Ryan, so it was a giant race back then. That IronStache video was awesome. So good call. Saikat, how about you?
Well, obviously I talked to my wife first, so it wasn't a call. But honestly, like the first calls I made were to some of my closest friends who've kind of seen me go through my political journey and like my whole life journey, and so I talked to the folks who kind of know me and know what's been driving me this whole time, and just ran it by them because it was something very different. I've been working behind the scenes, as you know, Cenk, for a long time, working on the recruiting other people, helping their campaigns, working on the policy side. And this was a different thing for me to enter into the fray myself. And so I kind of want to hear from my friends, what they thought of that. Did they think that I had what that would take? And getting their confidence gave me confidence.
So do you remember it was Zach, Corbin, anyone else?
Oh, I mean, Zach actually and Corbin were like, I don't even consider them because they were the ones trying to talk me into doing it for a while. But so yeah, they were the first ones I talked to about it. After that, I'd say the first person I called were like my friends from high school.
Yeah, Zach Exley and Corbin Trent were a huge part of Just Democrats. In fact, communications director for Corbin, one of the founders for Zach. And Saikat's known them for a long time. Okay, how about you, Richard?
Yeah. So obviously, speaking to my family, that was important. But I contacted the people that were on my campaign team back in 2018. As you know, we were #1 in flipping red votes blue across the country. And I'm going to tell you that it was absolutely wonderful when every single one of them basically said, "Let's go." David Graham, Randy Jones, Morgan Fowler, Madeline Salmons. I mean, these are names that maybe you don't know, but I'm going to tell you, these are people that are balls of fire. And when they gave me the thumbs up, I knew that we're ready for this fight. And let me tell you, we're ready for this fight.
Yeah, some good names in there.
Let me throw Amy Dora in there just in case she's watching, because she's awesome too, and Jamal.
So since we work in progressive and populist politics, we know a lot of these guys in there. A lot of them are superstars. All right, Cara, you're up.
All right, this question is from Benjamin on TYT.com. It is, let's see, Randy, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Probably be able to fly.
Saikat?
Teleportation for sure. I want to.
Oh, one up me. You got to one up me.
Randy's taking an hour to fly across the world. Saikat's like, sorry, I was already there. Saikat worked in tech, to be fair, so.
That's what I was working on.
Randy's building a plane. He's an iron worker building a plane, and Saikat's building a teleporting machine. Yeah.
Well, I will tell you that if I had a superpower, it would be to be able to reach every single person that I talk to and let them be able to see the actual truth. I come from Southern West Virginia, and I come from places where MAGA is absolutely like steel, as strong as it gets. And I would love to be able to literally go into the minds of these people and really show them the truth. Because look, at the end of the day, we've got to wake these people up. There's so many people in this country that are literally following this horrible path. And if I could wake people up and really allow them the ability to see the truth that's actually taking place, I think it would be something that could save our country.
Yeah, that's a beauty. All right, let's go to one more core political question, which is, if you could pass one law, you get to unilaterally pass it once you get into Congress. What would it be? Shortcut. Let's start with you.
Medicare for all.
Okay, super clear answer. Richard.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to make lobbyists wear body cameras, because if lobbyists had to wear body cameras and you could go on your computer and watch every conversation that your member of Congress is having with lobbyists, then I guarantee you, if they knew you could watch, they'd be far less likely to sell you down the river. And make no mistake about it, behind closed doors, they're always selling you down the river.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. It's very unique. Yeah, unsurprisingly, I like your idea so far. Okay, Randy, how about you?
I would say it's Medicare for all would definitely be up there, and so would be getting rid of Citizens United.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe
we're all on that.
Yeah, maybe we do Citizens United first, so we can pass the rest of them.
Right.
All right, Cara, back to you.
All right, I'm looking to see who else we've got. I think there was a question from Nerd Ferguson. The worst job you've ever had. Saikat, we'll start with you.
Oof, the
Working
worst
with
job I've ever had.
Justice Democrats. No, all right. Could qualify.
I mean, so when I actually graduated from college, because I've had like harder jobs, but the first job I had, I worked at a hedge fund for a little bit, and I was just trying to make money to like help my parents out, but I hated it. Like, I thought I was gonna stay there, try to make whatever money I could for a year. I lasted about 9 months and I quit. I was working for this guy, Ray Dalio, who's just written books and stuff about the culture of that company I worked at. And it was wild. They had this like radical transparency stuff. Some of it was okay, but some of it was just like cruel, and I saw like coworkers of mine get chewed out and just like brought to tears. And I was like, this is not for me. And also I remember asking one of my coworkers, so like, what do you find value in what you're doing right here at the hedge fund? And they just be like, we provide liquidity to the markets. Like, okay, that's not an answer. So I'm out of here. So that's why I quit.
What is your bedrock value? Liquidity to the markets.
Yeah.
That is a hell of an answer. That's where you're in the wrong place. I interviewed Ray Dalio, and he's a fascinating cat, but that radical transparency is hardcore. It's really,
it was.
Yeah, that's not easy to handle. All right, worst job, I like it. Where are we going next, Cara?
Randy, worst job.
Probably my first day as an iron worker. I was an apprentice, didn't know anything, and they'd like train you on a job. But because I didn't know how to tie the rods together, it was putting out rebar, laying them out on a bridge deck, which is like a double mat, like 6 inches by 6 inch squares, doubled up. So it's like they partnered me up with this. It was kind of a hazing. They partnered me up with this guy that was, if you take his head off, he'd be a perfect circle and short. So he was like, grab as many as you can, plus 20, and then carry them over to where they got to go with this guy. And it's like, because it's a double mat, your feet always tend to like want to slip in there. And if you slip in there, you're going to go, your bars are going to go flying, and the other guy's probably going to go flying too. But after I learned how to tie pretty quick though after that, because I went home, my shoulders were purple and black from carrying rebar on it. And it took me like 10 minutes to get up a flight of steps. And I talked to my mom's boss, and she was like, does it look like Coca-Cola when you pee? I was like, yeah, how did you know? She's like, you're literally peeing blood.
Yes.
it'll take a couple weeks before you feel normal. But I went back because I already put in my 2-week notice for the job that I left to become an iron worker. So there was no. I was like, I was pretty committed at that point, and I stayed in. And then the next bridge deck I went to, I mean, I got in shape pretty quick. And so after that, it wasn't anything. It was like you take a break to carry rods, because otherwise, when you're tying rods on a bridge deck, it's basically standing up, but like bending over and tying your shoes. That's basically what it's like, standing like that all day. And if you stand up for too long, you get yelled at.
Man, I thought it was corporate law was a bad job. That's a tough job. By the way, guys. Look, as you can tell, these are real Americans that have lived here, love this country, trying to make it better. We'll put the link to all their campaign websites down below. If you're watching this later, make sure you check them out. Go check out their policies. Okay, but Richard, you got an answer for the worst job?
Yes. So first off, I've been a state senator. I've taught at the high school level. Spent 24 years in the United States Army. And I would tell you that if I had to pick a time, because I've loved all of the jobs that I've had, but if I ever had to pick a time when I could say that was the worst, when I was in Afghanistan, I was in an area on a 12-man team, and we were remote. I mean, we were out in the middle of nowhere, and rank. Sometimes they say, well, rank has its privileges, but when you're in a situation like that and everybody has to pull their weight. I mean, I can remember me actually having to, burn, what. So never fun burning waste, but everybody had to put in their time. Nobody was, and once again, I was okay with that because, regardless that I was one of the highest ranking folks at that location, it's about being a part of a team. So, and we needed that team when we had so many people that were just so few of us.
Yeah, so when we started Young Turks, I suck at anything technical, so I couldn't help with like plugging in the wires or anything like that. So I was known as the lugger. So if anybody needed something lugged from one side to another, I'd step in. That was my role. All right, so I can't believe we're almost at half an hour. This is so much fun. Okay, back to personal stuff. What's your favorite TV show that you're watching right now? So let's start with Shortcut on that one.
I've started and stopped multiple TV shows since starting this campaign. I'm trying to think of what the last one. I was rewatching Firefly, which is one of my favorite shows of all time, and that's what we're in the middle of right now, and I love it. So yeah, it's got to be that.
All right, interesting. Richard?
I just started watching Peaky Blinders, but I'm only on the second episode, so I'm still trying to get a better understanding. But I mean, it seems pretty cool. I think it's going to be a good show. Yeah,
it's a badass show. It's about gangsters back in the day in the UK. You got to turn on the captions, otherwise it's hard to understand their English. Which is ironic, but anyways, Randy.
Currently, I'm watching old episodes of All in the Family.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, shout out to Rob Reiner.
Yeah, it's just, and that's part of the reason. Yeah. But it's, it's something how, Archie Bunker was portrayed and how opposite it was from his real person.
Okay, I'm now going to tell you guys the most depressing personal fact out of this whole thing. When Archie Bunker was on the air, the guy who played Archie Bunker was younger than I am today.
Yeah.
Ouch. Okay. I know, isn't that crazy?
That's a fact.
Wow.
That's a fact. Yeah. It was like he was in his 40s.
Yeah. And then even by the end, he still was younger than I am today.
You're looking better, Jenk. It's all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's I look so good. Okay. Anyway, well, maybe that'll be my last question to you guys. But we're almost out of time, so let's do a couple more. Carl, what do you got?
Well, wait, Jenk, what are you watching?
Oh, me. So I loved Severance on Apple, and so then I started Pluribus on Apple, which is like the same guy, Vince Gilligan, who did Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And so it's trippy, it's fun. Both of those shows are really trippy, gets you thinking. I like shows that make you think. But Vince, hurry up a little bit. Like he takes too long in every scene. I love you, brother, but let's go. We got places to go. Anyways, yes. Go ahead, Carl.
All right. Let's see, Richard, if you could replace one government form with a single button, which form would it be?
A government form?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a form.
You know
Something
what?
that you like go through the government to get.
I mean, I really wish that it was easier for veterans to be able to get, their benefits. So if it was something government-wise, I really wish it was that, because a lot of people, especially your combat arms, will literally beat their body to death. And when they get out, they have to literally fight for sometimes years to be able to get, the injuries that they have sustained from their bodies. And that's a fact. I mean, it is a fact. If I could make that process an easy process, I would love to do that.
So that's a tough question that Cara asked, but that's a great answer. And I'll back up what Richard's saying, because when I ran for office, every veteran I ran into said the same exact thing. Like, it's got to be way easier than this. This is crazy.
It's got to get better. It's got to be better.
All right.
Yep. All right, Saikat.
Yeah, I mean, I got two answers to this. One is, I think you're right about with veterans benefits, but like any attempt to get healthcare benefits in our system, like trying to get Medicaid benefits, trying to get Medicare benefits, like trying to file any like insurance claims, it all sucks. But I'm gonna say, your taxes, because you could replace that with a button. It's absolutely wild. Like the IRS has all the information to just file your taxes for you. And this is one of the things where we actually tried to make it legal, because currently it's illegal for the IRS to file your taxes for you. There's a law inside the appropriations bill that prevents the IRS from doing it. And guess why that law is there? Is because Intuit, the makers of TurboTax, pay tons and tons of money in campaign contributions to keep that illegal. And it's like we tried to fight against that when I was in there as AOC's chief of staff. And it wasn't the Republicans, it was like the Democrats who came after us and refused to change that law. Biden finally actually repealed it for a bit, and Trump put it back in because, I'm sure the CEO of Intuit probably paid a bunch of money into his inauguration fund or something. But I'm gonna pick that because we can't actually replace that with a button.
Just quick editorial note that's why the Saikat was not very popular in Congress when he was AOC's chief of staff, because he would call out Democrats too, and they didn't seem to love that. But that is exactly the right thing to do. So what would you do in Congress is a question we normally ask in political conversations. But in Saikat's case, we already have a good sense of.
Hey, Jake, if I can kind of interject here on something, and I think that all three of us would be in agreement with this. We take back power and we get the majority. We had better hit the ground running with legislation ready to drop immediately, because that's what needs to happen. We need to solve problems and solve problems fast. And if Democrats are the ones dragging their feet, then they need to be called out on dragging their feet. There's a lot of things. We got to go against corruption. We got to fix a lot of problems in this country. And if anybody wants to drag the feet, especially Democrats, then they need to be called out on that.
I love that. All right, Randy, you got the last answer here.
I was going to say taxes, but I also agree with Richard about the VA. I was stationed at Fort McClellan for training for military police, and that base has since been closed as a toxic base. And there's all kinds of Facebook groups, and we communicate on how to get benefits from that, because I had cancer that doesn't run in my family at all. And it was a weird kind of cancer that there's no other explanation. But a lot of people have had cancer that were stationed at that base. It was not only the MP training base, but it was also the training for chemical warfare. And I mean, so we crawled on the ground, after they stored all kinds of Agent Orange, and that's where they had the munitions there, and we're crawling around in all of the dirt. And then a few years after I got out of the Army, I found out that's when I had cancer, and I was like, how did this happen? And it ended up bankrupting me.
Yeah.
But no, that was, I would say that.
Yeah, I'm so glad we did this as an inaugural episode of this format, right? But we really do get to find out about you. So, I mean, Randy's had a lot of hardship. Ojeda's had a lot of people and pets die around him. But since he was in the service for so long, that's literally true, right? And that's super hard. And so, yeah, and so, but we're out of time. So I got to ask you one and a half last questions real quick. Okay, this one is favorite workout, because I'm actually curious. Ojeda, how about you?
I absolutely love buys and tries, my brother. Love them. Love them.
Okay, I love it.
You gotta bring the beast.
Shortcut, who is surprisingly cut. What's your favorite workout?
I mean, I do just normal, just hit the gym, do my squats, deadlifts, benches. But if my favorite is playing basketball, like I love playing a good game pickup.
Okay, Randy?
Riding a bike and going on the rowing machine.
All right, and the last half question is, we'll start with Randy and go backwards. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl, Patriots or Seahawks?
Seahawks. I think they're such a phenomenal team. They're pretty solid all around.
Richard?
I'm gonna catch flack, but I'm Seahawks.
You don't have to catch flack for that. Shortcut.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Seahawks just so I can say that the Niners would have won if they had just gone past the Seahawks.
I don't know about that. Okay, but a good answer coming out of San Francisco. All right, Shortcut's California 11. Ojeda is North Carolina 9. Randy is Wisconsin 1. Okay, the links are down below. Make sure you're checking them out. They don't take corporate PAC money, so you got to help them out. These are real Americans trying to fight for you guys and fight for the average guy. So make sure you're helping them out. I love that you guys did this. I love that you thought of this, Cara. So thank you to all of you. Really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate the invitation being on.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you all very much.
All right. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. We'll see you on Monday.
You as well.
All right, take care.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.